Before we get into this video, I need to talk about something important, and it's that the weather outside is atrocious. It's close to 100 degrees outside. I live in the attic of my house, and I have turned off my air conditioner so that you can hear me a little bit more clearly. So please keep that in mind if I start to profusely sweat on camera.
Looking for Bratz.
Hey angels, Lookin Bratz here, aka Dom. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, then welcome. On this channel, I love to talk about fashion dolls, pop culture, nostalgia, and of course, if my username did not suggest it, Bratz. 10 years ago, I started creating the Bratz fan site called lookinbratz.com, which just celebrated its 5-year anniversary this past May. It's been 5 years of celebrating the legacy of the Bratz franchise on top of celebrating the online Bratz community. And on a personal note, it's been 5 years of creating original content for me and putting myself out there on the internet, so it's been pretty huge for me. Lookinbratz.com features an extensive product database and guides to learn about the Bratz franchise. Lookinbratz.com has developed significantly since it launched 5 years ago, all thanks to the help of the Bratz community around the world. There's also merch on the website, including some trading cards. So this latest collection of trading cards, this is what the full collection looks like if you buy the full collection on the website. There is artwork by the Vinyl Scene, who created the key artwork for the website's relaunch last year. You can check out this and more exclusively on lookinbratz.com. Hold the G. Before we get into the video, I want to thank my Ko-Fi supporters. Rena, Pink Bratz Dreams, Tokyo Malin, Miss Pinks 444, Carla Dolls, Sam Bratz Forever, and P. I wonder what the P stands for. I hope you'll consider supporting my work on Ko-Fi for even more lookinbratz.com goodness. More exclusive content for me is on the way at ko-fi.com/lookinbratz. That's ko-fi.com/lookinbratz. You can also support me by visiting lookinbratz.com, subscribing to my YouTube channel, and liking this video, as well as following me on my other socials, all at Lookin Bratz. Without further ado, let's get into the video. MGA Entertainment and the Bratz team were gracious enough to send me their latest Jean-Paul Gaultier collector Sasha fashion doll. So here she is. I did get sent a note card from the Bratz team. Here's what the note card looks like. Very cute. It says, "Hey bestie, we're beyond excited to announce that a true fashion legend has stepped into the world of Bratz. Introducing Bratz x Jean-Paul Gaultier. This exclusive collaboration reimagines Sasha through the iconic lens of Jean-Paul Gaultier, featuring 2 distinctive looks inspired by his most timeless designs. Launching July 2nd at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, this collector doll will be available exclusively on Bratz.com and JeanPaulGaultier.com. Quantities are limited. Don't forget to share your doll using hashtag BratzXJeanPaulGaultier. Love the Bratz team." How adorable. I'm excited to actually unbox the doll. Here are some Bratz stats that we should know before heading into the review. This doll uses the 2001 open mouth head sculpt, the 2018 articulated body, premium nylon hair, comes with 2 complete outfits, a hat, a pair of earrings, a pair of sunglasses, a purse, a perfume bottle for the doll inspired by Jean-Paul Gaultier, a mini magazine, a hairbrush, a Jean-Paul Gaultier dress form stand, a doll stand, and a certificate of authenticity. The standard edition of this doll retails for $150 USD. The special edition retails for $250 USD. The doll recently went out of stock on the Bratz.com and JeanPaulGaultier.com websites, But Bratz announced this week that next week they will be doing a limited restock on Bratz.com. So I would recommend just keeping your eyes peeled to the official Bratz Instagram page, because that tends to be where they distribute most of the information. In this video, we're going to be reviewing the doll's packaging, including what makes the special edition so special, the fashions, accessories, the face-up, the hair, and my overall thoughts on this latest collectible offering. So let's get to it. Starting off with the doll's packaging, it is a very large box. I would say this box might be comparable in size to the Carol G collector doll that came out last year from Bratz, although I think this might be slightly bigger. I don't know. It's just a plain square. There's no trapezoids or anything, but a lot of the shaping of the box comes in as you open it. So as you can see, it's a very red box. I like the shade of red. It looks really good. We have the black logos for Jean-Paul Gaultier, and then we have Bratz, which is in parentheses, which is very interesting. We have this gorgeous artwork of Sasha on the front wearing her first outfit. It looks very Hayden Williams inspired. Like, I would have believed this was drawn by him at first, though it does look a lot like a Dramatic Doll style. So I want to say it was drawn by Dramatic Doll, who I love dearly, so shout out to them if they were behind this. There's like sweat. I am sweating already. I might need to turn the AC on. Regardless, we have the box. On the sides, it says Sasha for Jean-Paul Gaultier x Bratz. There's the logos again, and then on the bottom, there's a copyright that says on outfit designs by Jean-Paul Gaultier. So it's a very interesting copyright. I don't know exactly why it's copywritten like that. I don't know. Copyright? But it's like that on both sides. The bottom just has legal information. The handle of the box is very cute. It is like a safety pin, and then it has Gaultier across it. At first, I saw this handle and I had wished it was electroplated so that it was more of a shiny silver plastic, but then as I was grabbing it by the handle, I was like, I don't think I would want a handle that could easily get fingerprints on it. So I actually appreciate the silver finish on this plastic here. The back of the box is also very cute, a little simple, but for this collaboration, I think it does make sense. And I think we have just enough information. Plus, we do have a familiar character, Sasha, who we've known for 24 years now. Here she is in her second outfit with the artwork, and then the logos again, and then on the bottom it says Bratz meets the fashion world of Jean-Paul Gaultier. Spectacular, avant-garde, and unapologetically iconic. Bratz x Jean-Paul Gaultier designed for true enfants terribles. Only, I don't know if I said that right, but we're just gonna go with it. It's very cute. I like the box a lot, and then when you open it up like this, there is the doll in the middle. She is the main... She's the show. This is her stage. And the box was just her opener. And you had to open her to see her. So inside the box, it's a very cute design. I like how these flaps come out. I just like the shape of everything. Like it flows nicely. And when certain brands and companies do boxes like these where you can't see the doll initially until you open the flaps, I like when the flaps are easily, like, you can open and close them and there's no fuss about it. So I appreciate that about this collab, is that you don't have to fuss with the flaps too much. And the way they made the box, there won't be any bending here on the edges, which is really good. It's a very nice box. I also like that it has sort of a matte finish here, and then there's the glossy artwork. It really just makes it pop, and I really love the box design. And then inside the box, in the flaps, we have some audience members at this Jean-Paul Gaultier fashion show. Very cute. I hope y'all can see that well on your end. I was going through these, like the dolls, and I was trying to identify all of them because I'm a little freak. I know some of them, but I don't know some of them because they're a little bit blurred. But this first one here is definitely Flower Girls Chloe. And then the next one looks like Series 3 Felicia. I would say she was Campfire, but she definitely looks like Series 3 to me. And then we have World First State Brayden. I hope you'll see that. And then on the inside of the flap, there's Boys Motorcycle Style Cade. And then I don't know who the doll next to him is. My boyfriend looked at her and said she low-key looked like my fiance. Sorry, I forgot to mention as I sweat. He said that it looked like my fiance. He said it low-key looked like a 2015 Bratz, and now I kind of can't get it out of my head. And there is and you can see another view of that doll, I think, on this side, sitting next to the 10th anniversary Cameron doll in the audience. And I think that's her again. I feel like they maybe just copy and pasted that one doll. Anyways. And then on this other side, actually, see, this is a little complicated now that I'm trying to show everybody things. There's who I believe is the Head Games Yasmin that comes with the Head Games board game, but I could be completely off. If not, she's definitely very close to that Yasmin, who was modeled after the Play Sports, is it Slam and Soccer Yasmin, or you know which one I'm talking about. Anyways, I'm just being a little know-it-all right now. And then what looks like the Slumber Party reproduction Jade next to her. I love the references. I wasn't sure how I felt about the box at first. I wasn't honestly sure what to expect from the collaboration, and I'm very pleasantly surprised. I do like what they're giving, but I do also have criticisms, which we'll talk about. But right now we're really talking about the packaging. Now we have this case here. There's no backing to the box with this same background. It's just this piece. So if you do want to preserve the packaging, you're gonna have to be extra careful with it. But the packaging looks really cute. I like the gradient blue shades that they used, and it looks good. I like how everything is placed. It looks very neat. Something I think I've been critical of with Bratz, especially with some of their collector offerings, is that the boxes are not well balanced in terms of display. Like, you know, some things look a little off in the placement, and I think they did a really magnificent job with the placement here, and I'm digging it. So kudos to MGA, the Bratz team, and the Jean-Paul Gaultier people for putting together a really beautifully displayed doll. And it kind of hurts me that I'm gonna unbox this doll in just a moment, because I would love to save her in the box, but of course I'll be keeping the box shell, and I will do my best to preserve these pieces. But I'm gonna go ahead and unbox this doll. So you may have noticed I mentioned that the doll has sort of a matte packaging with a glossy artwork on it for the Sasha character art. But what I haven't mentioned yet is the special edition that came out alongside the standard edition. So the standard edition is what I just showed you, and the special edition has the same doll, the same accessories, and almost the same packaging. The packaging is just slightly different. It has a foil on it. It's a bit more holographic. And there is a limited edition sticker on it. It was numbered out of 100. So that sold out the day that this doll launched. So congratulations to everybody who got her hands on her. Personally, I think it may have been a tactic to maybe get resellers to purchase that one and then make a lot more, of course, of the regular version, because she was in stock for a few days until she finally sold out. So I don't know what was up with that. There's not a difference in any of the dolls or the accessories you're getting. It was just a packaging variant. And this is not the first time that MGA Entertainment has done this. They've done this before with Rainbow High. I don't know, but it happened. Also, for anybody who likes to watch the unboxing process, I'm going to be doing this mostly off camera because I'm sweating and sometimes the unboxing process can be a little stressful. But I will say the back of the box, very easy. All you have to do is cut these clear plastic ties from the back, and then everything looks like it'll just come out of the box. The plastic pieces that hold the accessories seem pretty easy to take out, so we'll be breezing through this. Before we move into any other sections of this video, I have to say it, and I say it almost every time. So many plastic ties, so many of them. And I understand they are there to keep everything in place. Not everybody in boxes. Wow, so many. Don't go ripping things out of this box. The dress and everything had plastic ties in the back. Don't go. Sometimes I get crazy when I open dolls and I'll be like, whatever. Don't do that with these dolls. Be very, very extra careful. Go to the back of the box and snip away. I still need to fix it more because I ripped it a little bit on the inside, but not too badly. Ooh. And there's still plastic in it. I'm going to keep, oh, maybe she was sideways. I'm gonna keep some plastic pieces on and then some off. And I would like to display her in the box, showing off her accessories and her outfit as well. So I just kind of kept some things in place so that when I eventually do decide to display her, maybe not immediately, but in the future, I would like some pieces to really pop. So that was my method of doing things. Let's move on to the fashion. So I have to say something honest. I got to be honest with everybody here. I enjoy fashion. I'm a fashion enjoyer. I am not a fashion buff, though. I, unfortunately, am not that girl. I do appreciate those who are. I think they serve one of the most important functions in the world. It's just that I don't. And I feel like when it comes to fashion, personally, when I see archival pieces or I see references, sometimes I go to look for those things and I just can't find them. And I think it's so interesting how fashion houses these days, I don't know how they are with like organizing and archiving, but I'll see like TikToks pop up and some girl bought a dress that the original designer had made maybe 20 some odd years ago prior, and now that designer wants to get their hands on their own design because they didn't archive their pieces. They don't have archives. So I sometimes will look for things and I'll be like, this fashion house from this year, like let me search that up, and then I won't be able to find the thing that I'm looking for, even though I know it's what I'm looking for. So I get frustrated because I'm a researcher, and I'm sure if I did more research I'd better understand, but whatever, I don't need to explain it. I want to plug my friend and fellow creator JPH Collection on Instagram. He did several reels and posts about the Jean Paul Gaultier Sasha doll, and he gave more information on the history of the outfit and the references and where things were pulled from, and he did a good job at that, so I don't need to duplicate that work. But from the blind eye of somebody who does appreciate fashion, and I do appreciate Jean Paul Gaultier, I really like her outfit. And well, hello, strand of hair. At first I was like, oh, like, you know, she looks good, but there's something about the doll that I personally felt was a little off, and it's not anything. It has nothing to do with the fashion itself. It has to do with the proportions of Bratz, and Bratz has a very unique set of proportions with the body, and I think a lot of collectors have said this over the years, and even Isaac Larian himself has admitted that he doesn't like the original Bratz body. I do think Bratz could benefit from having a slightly altered body. I don't think they need to do too much. It doesn't have to get crazy, But just as somebody who is really appreciating and loving what they're doing in regards to fashion, house collaborations, and all of these high-end cool things that they've been doing, is that the Bratz body and the torso and the legs don't fully suit the looks that they're giving them. And I do think the dolls all deserve, you know, their time to shine. So I just would like a better proportion body is just what I would think would make the outfit even better, because it's not the outfit itself. I like the outfit. I love the materials they used. The skirt is a little loose and it almost gives the illusion that she does have a different body, but she looks like she has one of those like fork bodies. It's the Bratz Star Singer's legs, and then it's the Fashion Pixie's torso and arms or something like that. Sometimes they put movie arms on them. Sometimes they'll, you know, they zhuzh it up. I've never made a fork body because I just don't know how to. And I just don't have a real desire to at the moment. I've wanted to in the past, but I don't think right now I care. I would rather Bratz just kind of make a new articulated body and a new standard body that's not articulated. Also, the rain is getting heavy outside and there was some thunder, so we could have some issues at any point. There won't be any bending here on the edges, which is really good. It's gonna look nice and still pristine. And it might get loud outside, so I will try to project my voice even more than I normally do. Fashion though, I do think the first outfit looks really good. I adore the Gaultier references, like by name. So the earrings, well, let's go from head to toe because we actually should go from the hat. I should start with, which I don't know if I want to take off yet. But the hat is completely white, and then in white stitching across the top, it says Gaultier, and it looks really cute on her. I wish it was a little bigger, if I'm being honest. And you know what I love about companies like Integrity Toys is that they'll give you a pin to stick in hats to make them stay in the doll's head. That's a method I use on all my dolls when I want the hats to stay, is I'll stick the pin in the back of their head so it's not visible. I kind of wish we had that option here with Sasha. Not a big deal because that's more of like something to think about for a collector doll, especially one that's $150. I know we're paying a lot more for the name of the doll. Like, you know, Jean-Paul Gaultier is a very high-end brand. So I know that we're having to match that here, but, you know, Bratz is also giving high-end. They always give high-end. I know dolls are cheap to produce, but, you know. Actually, you know what? I don't know anything. I don't know anything about the doll industry. So the earrings are cute. They're like almost like discs, like records almost, and they say Jean-Paul Gaultier and Bratz, and I have to say it's so impressive how I feel like the Jean-Paul Gaultier logo has so many letters in it because it's a long name, and having to put that next to the Bratz logo and downsize that for an earring of this scale is pretty damn impressive if you ask me. And then on the bottom here we have, it's a safety pin. It's just kind of sewn in though. And it looks good. It's not a real safety pin. It's an electroplated plastic piece, but they sewed it in so that it looked like it was clipped into the skirt. But it says Gaultier. It's just like the doll's packaging handle. And then I think that might be the only, yeah, she doesn't have any bracelets or anything. No. She doesn't. We're good there. I like this outfit a lot. I also appreciate the belt buckles. Like, they really did go in on the details here. I will say though, and because maybe I'm not like super duper fashion privy like that, But the shoes are interesting. They have this sort of spike on the bottom, and I know these are a reference from Jean-Paul Gaultier. I don't see shoes like this very often, though, admittedly. I like the way they sculpted the buckles. I think the sculpting looks good. And I like the scale for Bratz. I do like the scale, which makes me wish that they had a different body, because I feel like the bigger platforms do give them the length that we need to see them in some of those more like avant-garde fashion pieces. But this scale of shoe I do like, and I really like the new fashion pixies that are coming out soon. Those have a really cute shoe scale that look good for that like proportion. But I still wish the bodies were just slightly different. But the shoes are cute, they're interesting. And when I popped them off, I giggled because I thought the inside was going to be hollow before you get to the peg, but the peg is right at the start and it just goes right on. And because of the spikes on the bottom of these shoes, they had to elongate the pegs on the doll stand to make sure that they go into the shoe. I'll show you real quick. Much longer doll stand peg, and it'll help her stand on the stand. We'll talk about the accessories a little bit later. Although we just talked about the earrings, to be fair, but it's part of the fashion. It's all fashion, baby. She has a second outfit, and I have been seeing a lot of mixed reviews on this, and I've been mixed myself on how I feel about the second outfit, because it's the cone boob dress. I don't know what else to call it, so I'm gonna call it the cone boob dress. Because it just like reminds me, I know it's like, you know, like Madonna, and I know it from Madonna, and I know it from Hocus Pocus, because when the mom dressed as Madonna in the movie, anyways. So like, yeah, like I'm familiar with the cone boob, I'm familiar with it. And the dress is cute. Like I've always liked this dress when I see it out, you know, when people do pictures. My apologies, I'm so sorry, I'm just sweating. I'm getting nervous because of the rain outside, and I'm trying to keep it professional here. Because I love you guys, and because I know I need to do it at least once, I am gonna put the dress on the doll in this video, because we're talking about the fashion. And I think it's only fair that we do give the full scope of what she's doing, which means we're actually gonna have to take this hat off, because it's not gonna go with this look. Also, I would advise getting cuticle or nail clippers to take out the plastic ties, especially in the back of the doll's head, and because the hat is also attached via a plastic tie. So many plastic ties. Oh, this is such a cute detail, because I haven't talked about this and I saw it on Twitter. So she has like tartan underwear. It's like matches her kilt skirt. And I love that the Bratz have been doing like kind of themed underwear. Oh, lately they have been. Sometimes they just do like the thong these days, but now we're doing like these. I like these panties. I like the shape of these panties. I don't know if people like the word panties or dislike it. I'm sorry. It's just like the first word that's coming to mind when I see these, because they look like panties to me. And we're gonna dress Sasha up. You might hear beeping from outside. There's a truck. There might be flooding happening right now, and I'm just in my room unboxing dolls because, yeah. And I'm really tired and hungry. We're gonna dress Sasha up though. Don't worry, guys. Girls or they, thems. I will say, when I compare the fabric of this to what I envision the fabric of the actual dresses to be, it might be the same fabric, I don't know, but it doesn't seem like it. This fabric seems a little too thick and just bulky for the Bratz body. I could see this fabric being used on like an actual piece or maybe even a larger doll, but Bratz is so tiny. Bratz is so dainty and small. Bratz is like barely the size of a pinky. It looks weird from the front. It does look weird from the front, the cone bra. And there is threading coming out, and I'm finding myself cutting a lot of the pieces of that thread off. I feel like at this scale though, like it's probably really hard to just create these types of haute couture pieces. But I don't know, I feel like they could have maybe used a different fabric, but I'm not in the doll industry. I can't help but also pinch these, I'm so sorry. I'm not in the doll industry. I don't know the production methods completely. Like, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, to be fair. So I might just be talking out of my ass when I say some of this. But I just feel like the fabric is just really bulky for the type of dress that they're creating. I will say, I don't think it's going to look bad. Like, it's not going to look terrible. I do think it could have looked better, though. And I feel like the base of the cone needed to maybe be larger. Like, it had to look a little bit more ridiculously large on her chest. And maybe this was one of the moments where those cones could have overpowered that area there. Because right now she is giving a lot of, like, her chest, her own chest, through this, I don't know, we're gonna call it top, the cone top. So if they had maybe just judged it up, maybe added a little bit more of that fabric here, just really get that cone out. But again, I don't know like how that goes. I don't sew, like I don't know these things. But I just feel like maybe there was potentially like a different method they could have used that maybe wouldn't make me want to pinch the cones so much to reshape them. Like, I wish the cones were just like bigger. She's giving like Rita Repulsa but Bratz. I think I'm gonna have to rate this video a PG-13 YouTube. Fully just played with that doll's cone top. So, okay, the bottom went on pretty easily. It is a two-piece, obviously, as we've learned. There's a bracelet here. It's a bracelet and it's also a waist charm. I know my fat man hands and my huge wrists won't be able to encompass the demure size of this Gaultier charm bracelet slash Sasha's belt. But it's cute. I like it. And I can't seem to like slide it up on her body, so I'm gonna have to take it off. I'm not sure how I would position it personally. I think there's a variety of ways. Do what you want to do because it's your doll at the end of the day if you get her. And I like it. I like the dress. Oh, maybe not there. If you're gonna keep her in this dress, make sure she's like really styled up and you're like certain like she's supposed to be in the dress, is what I would recommend. I think she will be in her first outfit when I display her. I'll take some pictures of her and stuff in this outfit, of course, and, you know, give her that moment. The dress is, the skirt looks good. The skirt looks good. I like the way that they did the ruffles here. It looks nice. The top, though, could have used work. And this is, again, where I think maybe a slightly altered body for Bratz could have worked in their favor for a fashion like this. But that's just my 2 cents, my silly little 2 cents as a doll influencer. And I don't like the look with the shoes. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like this look with this shoe. I would have preferred a better shoe with this dress. Something that maybe even matched the dress, like the same color, or maybe just something nicer. And I really want to love the dress. I want to love it. And it's not even really a dress, is it? It's a two-piece. And there's a lot of threading. You really just, I would look out for that stuff. I feel like the fabric needed to be just like thinner. Just like a thinner fabric on this doll. But she's cute. She's still cute. I'm enjoying the doll. I'll probably enjoy her more in her first outfit, to be fair. A gorgeous doll. Gorgeous, gorgeous doll. Before we talk more about the doll herself, because we haven't really discussed her face up or her hairstyle yet, I would like to talk about the accessories that she comes with. Because she comes with some really cute accessories. This I probably should have talked about prior in the fashion piece. It's her electroplated bag. And it is the Jean Paul Gaultier can. It's like this like infamous can from Jean Paul Gaultier. When you see it, you kind of just recognize it and you know what it is and you know that it's iconic. It looks really good. I like it. I like the way that they did the cord here. Like, it feels like a cord, but I know it's plastic. And it's a little stretchy, that plastic. It's interesting. I like it. I like the electroplated purse. I am trying to open and close it, though I don't know if there's a mechanism for that, but we'll find out. All right, it's a little tricky to open, but you can open her bag. So that is good to know, because you can most likely store her Jean Paul Gaultier mini fragrance bottle in there. Look at how cute that is. I really, really hope the camera's picking this up. If not, I will be flipping this camera around and re-recording it just to show you. This is, I don't know what fragrance it is exactly from Jean Paul Gaultier, but it's like that one. When you see it, you know, and you know it's iconic. Like, you know that it's like a high-end brand, and I think that's really cool. I love the color they used on the bottle. I love the little painted details. It's really cool. It's such a nice touch, and I feel like that's a true homage to JPG. And then we also have a pair of sunglasses. I'm gonna show you the front here. So this is coming hot off the tails of the Gentle Monster collaboration that Bratz did just a little over a month ago. And I feel like the shades look a little similar, not too much. These ones have more of a bluish purple tint to them. The arm is pretty nice. It matches all of the other accessories that Sasha has, including her earrings, which we discussed also in the fashion section of this video. But the glasses are really cute. I think I'll put them with her first outfit. I would like her to wear them. They look okay with this outfit. Like, if you were to wear this outfit on her, you know, it's kind of growing on me though. I have to say, the outfit's growing on me. And maybe it's because if you view her from the side, she looks a little bit more charismatic in this cone bra. But we're not here to talk about that. We're talking about accessories. I'm trying to stay organized here. She has a little mini magazine, which I love. It's pretty big, like not like a real magazine size for doll scale, but a nice collector's piece. The front, you can see there's 10th anniversary Cameron, who is playing the role of Jean Paul Gaultier, and it says passion for fashion au top de la mode. And it says Bratz 2025. It's like a Vogue parody of sorts. I wonder, oh, it says super stylin' on the barcode. I'm always like looking, are there little hints to anything here? We have several versions of the face up, like several different angles of the head with the painted face, which was done by Lollyword. So shout out to Lollyword, who's been doing a fantastic job with the Bratz face ups. And then it says Jean Paul Gaultier x Bratz, perfect, I think. I don't know if that says perfect. It might be something in French. It says j'adore. Love it. And then there are pictures of the prototype of the doll and the 3D sculpting. There's artwork of the doll. There's a lot to take in here. There's the mock-up prototype of the doll. Pretty cool stuff. I like seeing this. It feels a little bit more like behind the scenes. Cap Doll, shout out to Cap Doll, who's been doing the sculpting for a lot of the recent Bratz releases. And then on the back, there is a picture of the prototype mock-up of the Bratz Jean Paul Gaultier Sasha doll. And it has the red logos for Jean Paul Gaultier and Bratz. And I will show you this one basic piece. We talked about this before. This plastic feels a little cheaper. I don't know why. I might be off my game here. It just feels a little flimsier. But anyways, there's longer pegs on the stand. And the stand actually has it sculpted in the Jean Paul Gaultier and Bratz logos. So this collaboration is a little extra special in the sense where a lot of the usual accessories that Bratz and MGA would leave plain for their collector dolls are now being customized to their collaborators brand, and I like that. It looks good. I think it's it's making it feel a little bit more like an homage and a bit more personal to the person that they're collaborating with, which I appreciate. There is a red envelope and it says Jean-Paul Gaultier and Bratz. Take a shot every time I say Jean-Paul Gaultier and Bratz. And then there is the Bratz sticker on the back, and then we open it up. And then there is, surprise, surprise, a certificate of authenticity, and it says Jean-Paul Gaultier and Bratz, and then certificate of authenticity, and then in 2 languages on my version, it says, this limited edition Bratz doll has full looks designed by Jean-Paul Gaultier. So you're getting luxury, crafted luxury, direct to your home via Bratz.com and JeanPaulGaultier.com. This certificate authenticates that your doll was carefully created and designed through the collaborative efforts of Bratz and Jean-Paul Gaultier. And then we do have a lip logo on the back. I like though that they're adding the lips. They're adding a little bit more. They're zhuzhing things up, and I love that. I love that Bratz has gotten to the zhuzh point. And speaking of zhuzh, this is like probably like my favorite accessory from any of the collector dolls that they've done in the past 5 years. So we have not a typical dress form stand. So the typical dress form stands from Bratz have a star base that actually has a retractable piece so that you can take it on and off for packaging space purposes. And there's usually a little mannequin in there that resembles the Bratz body and that has the irregular shaped star on the top as like a little charm. And I love that mannequin so much. It's one of my favorite things. They've almost given it to every collector doll in the past 3-4 years. And I've enjoyed it. I like having a lot of those on hand. They come in handy. But the fact that they went all out for the Jean-Paul Gaultier collab and did a custom perfume bottle shaped mannequin scaled to the size of a Bratz doll is so cool to me. We have the perfume bottle, which of course, like, you know, it's like that iconic perfume bottle. We have the male version in tiny form, and then we have the womanly shaped body here, and it's the Bratz shaped body, and then there's like this dress on it that has sculpted in, and I really hope you can see this because the plastic is like a really cool translucent, like half clear, half frosted to like give the silhouette of the dress some time to shine. It's laced up in the back and it says Gaultier. And then I just love the way that they sculpted this. I think it was Capdoll. So Capdoll, if you're listening to this, like, you really eat this up. There's the choker here, like with that little chain. Like, it just looks so cool. It looks so cool. And then we do have the stand for it that does have Jean-Paul Gaultier and Bratz sculpted on the bottom, and it just looks beautiful. And I do, honestly, I just don't know if I want to put the dress on the mannequin. I kind of want the mannequin by itself, displayed as is. Although I could still see parts of it, even if she was wearing the dress. I might just put the dress on it, because, you know, I don't have space for everything. All right, that was fun. I enjoyed the accessories. I think sometimes the accessories are my favorite part of the whole experience. I don't want to talk too much because, you know, I've already talked enough, I think. And I'm sweating. But I do want to talk about the face-up of this doll. And I'm going to look at the doll's face and really just like describe it. This doll's face is stunning. Lollywood has done such a terrific job with all of the Bratz faces, especially this one. This feels like you're holding a real, authentic Lollywood repaint in your hands. And Lolly did start as a repaint artist in the community, and the fact that he's built himself up so much and has gotten such amazing opportunities from MGA is astounding, and I'm really glad MGA took the chance on a fan and just delivered such amazing work with this person. The shading looks perfect. The way that the eyeshadow is blended, the blue in her eyes. I love the gradient blue in her eyes. It matches Jean Paul Gaultier. It matches the packaging. It just brings everything together so beautifully. I love a good blended eyeshadow. I love a blended look. Something that just looks so effortless and just so, I don't know, glamorous. It's very glamorous. The lips are gorgeous. I love, love, love a dark lip with an ombre when the lip shades get lighter in the middle. And I love this new method of teeth that Lolly's been doing, where the teeth get painted on the upper lip to sort of give it more of like a bunny look. And I guess it's fitting for Sasha because she's Bunny Boo. But it looks really good. At first, I saw the Fashion Pixies reimagined line. And when I saw those lips, I had seen the teeth, and it really took me a minute to get used to. And I do think it's a matter of factories and how they place the lips and the teeth. So I think the placement on this Sasha specifically looks really good, but this can always vary case by case. And I think some of the stock photos of the Fashion Pixies reimagined dolls kind of show you that those painted upper teeth can look good, but maybe, you know, placement could mess with that. So maybe just take an extra look at your dolls is at the end of the day. I just love this. I love this face. It looks so good. It's so Bratz and it's so dreamy. And I feel like I associate Jean Paul Gaultier with the 90s and like that sort of grunge-y aesthetic. I don't know what to call it, but I really just love the way her face looks. I love her makeup. It's so, so good. She looks like she's like straight out of a magazine cover from the 90s, or like one of the ads that you would see in a magazine in the 90s. And I really love that. I love that look. That's one of my favorite looks ever, actually. She's gorgeous. So I just wanted to say something about the face. As for the hair is something I've always wanted a platinum blonde Sasha. And I'm going to say it now because I'm a Bratz geek. Is that there was going to be a platinum blonde Sasha around 2016 for a canceled slumber party themed line that Bratz was going to do. This was during their reboot era, which we'll talk about in a different video, but that line never saw the light of day, unfortunately. Although it would have been in an era that people did not appreciate and mostly did not like, but it would also... It was just at a really bad time for the Bratz brand when that doll could have come out. And I'm glad now we're sort of making up for lost time with Bratz, if that makes sense. And I love the platinum blonde on Sasha. It looks really good on her. The only thing I have to say is that I just don't like the product they've been using in the hair. And it's probably really hard to get around not using product, so I don't want to be overly critical. But I am going to show my method, likely in a separate video, hopefully soonish. I don't know, maybe I'll try to do it in this video. Well, we're back at my sink, and I have Jean Paul Gaultier Sasha. She doesn't need too much work. It's just that her hair is a little wild looking, like she kind of has helmet head, and we're going to try to fix that. And she has a little bit of hair gel that feels really crusty. I don't really like the way that they rooted her either. Her thatching looks very interesting. Overall, I feel like the hair was not very impressive with this doll. I'm going to go in with my Dawn dish soap. You can also use hair shampoo. I like to use a cheaper conditioner. I don't like using fabric softener and don't recommend it. I also have scissors to cut off any loose hair. We're going to go in with some cold water and soak her in cold water. I went in with a little dish soap, but not too much because there was very little gel in her hair. So it wasn't like we had a lot to wash out. I got a wide tooth comb for this process rather than a rat tail comb. I used a generous amount of hair conditioner, and then I used the wide tooth comb to brush it on through. I had to really go in on the ends, and then I really wanted to make sure that the parting looked nice because it looked very off. I used almost exclusively cold water for this process because I didn't want to lose any of the shape of Sasha's hair. I'll be honest, I'm really sick as I'm recording this, and when you see Sasha next, it's been about 2 weeks since I washed her hair. I've been very busy and very tired, but I am making a lot of content, and I'm putting a lot of content out. I also cut off the ends of the hair, but I didn't get a good angle of me cutting it, so you just see me showing it. Now we're back to the doll. She looks not bad. I think the shape of her hair is similar to what it was before. Also, we're going in with Vogue's Dolphy Water Wax. Link in the bio. This helps really mend the hair fiber and get rid of some of those flyaways, though she doesn't have a lot. Her hair looks a little poofy, I think, because of the way it's shaped, and I went in with cold water. And I wanted her to keep her shape. I feel like the hair looks a little dry, if that makes sense. And I don't regret washing it because I felt like I fixed the helmet head issue where the top of her head doesn't look like the hair is poofing up, which is good. But I may try to spruce up her hair even more before she goes on display. This has also confirmed I really don't enjoy the two-piece. I love the concept of it. I just don't love the execution. I was looking forward to this doll based off the leaks, and I feel like she didn't live up to my expectations, but you win some, you lose some. She is a nice doll. Don't get me wrong. I just felt like there could have been something different. But I wish the hair didn't look like this out of the box. It does look a little disheveled, especially after you've gone through the whole process of unboxing it. I mean, I feel like maybe I'm just messy when I'm opening my dolls. I don't know, just my 2 cents. I'm just here to review the doll, really. So, I like the hair color. I think the length looks good. I maybe would have preferred a different style, is all I would say. I want to do an updo on her if I have her in her second outfit at all. I feel like she would really benefit from an updo. So now that we've just about talked through everything that I could possibly think of for this doll, I would like to wrap up with my overall thoughts of this collaboration and what I really think of it. Of course, I went through everything. I told you what I thought about the actual pieces of the doll, but I'm in the doll community, and I see a lot of the feedback that fans give to Bratz, and I'm sure Bratz sees it as well. Hopefully, I think they do, because I do see a lot of improvement with the brand. Time and time again, Bratz has really proven themselves. I see a lot of feedback about price points. I see a lot of feedback about the more consistent releases, and I see feedback about the consistency of higher end releases from Bratz. And I would like to give my 2 cents. I want to make a separate video possibly about my thoughts overall on the Bratz brand, but I don't know if there's interest in that. And I collected a lot of feedback on Instagram, so if anybody does want to give their 2 cents about the Bratz brand in the comment section of this video, feel free to, and maybe I'll feature it in a future video if I decide to do one specifically about the Bratz brand as a whole at the moment. I do want to talk about that for sure. But I don't know. I just don't want to. I think I'm on thin ice. I agree with some of the feedback that fans have given Bratz, and there are some pieces of feedback where I think fans are being really harsh and maybe not understanding of just how things work, and that's fine. You know, not everybody goes into these things knowing every single detail of what's happening. I feel like I tend to know a good chunk of details, including some of the production stuff. Sometimes. Depends. It really depends. I have a brief understanding, I guess. And then there's also the side of things where I see what the fans are saying, and I'm seeing how the fans are feeling, and I'm also feeling what the fans are feeling. Because I'm very privileged in the sense that I am receiving a lot of PR from Bratz, and I'm very grateful for that. And I hope I've been clear in that. I think some people have been upset because I've gotten PR, and I don't want to make it an issue. I don't think it's an issue. I think I have definitely put in a lot of work personally, but that's besides the point. I don't want to get into like the personal stuff here because I really just wanted to talk about this doll, but I know people are upset about that part, whatever, about the PR. So I'm one to talk, right? I'm one to talk because I'm getting free dolls, but then I do criticize the price points. I'm also going to criticize that these shoes keep falling off in my hands, and I could just see these being on display and going kablutz. Gorgeous dolls. Hopefully we can keep them intact. I do have to agree though, because if I were a fan, if I were not receiving PR, I would feel like I would be struggling to keep up with releases. A normal year for Bratz in their prime saw them releasing up to like 25 to possibly close to 40 different collections a year. Those collections would feature up to 2 to 5 characters, maybe even more, and then there's play sets, and then there's the spin-offs. There was so much Bratz coming out during their prime, so maybe I am just used to it and I feel like we're being spoiled this year, and I feel like it's not enough almost, because I have that viewpoint of Bratz where I'm like, I've seen them at this point in time where they've really dominated toy aisles. So I'm used to Bratz releasing a lot, and I have been like, oh, like I really wish Bratz would release more. And I think they've given us a nice chunk of releases this year, and there's still more to come, so it's nice to see. I feel like that's a good sign that the brand is doing well and there's demand for the brand. That's what we want at the end of the day, right? But then, hear me out. $150 is a lot. And it's not for everybody, and I know that it's not for everybody. It's maybe for the diehard fans, maybe for the casual fans, whoever ends up picking up the doll. And then there's also like the fashion collectors. I feel like Bratz does appeal to fashion people. And I think what Bratz has been doing has been pretty nice, because they've been giving these collector offerings with these really high-end brands. We have Gentle Monster, Jean-Paul Gaultier. Was there anything else this year? Right? We have a few coming, like the Lola Indigo collaborations coming later this year. So we're getting like, these like, different offerings from Bratz for collectors. And it's not just supposed to appeal to Bratz fans, but I understand the feeling that there has been so much of that exclusivity factor that we're kind of not seeing the accessible parts of Bratz. And if I had been a casual fan, theoretically, and I had just seen this outrageous Gentle Monster price tag, and then I had seen the Jean-Paul Gaultier doll, and I had seen the Bratziversary doll, which was like $45. Gentle Monster's price tag was like what, like up in the 400s, 300s if you were buying the full set. The Jean-Paul Gaultier doll, $150. If you want this extra special edition, it's $250. It's a lot of money. And I gotta say, like, I am making a pretty decent salary. For, like, my age and my experience, I make a pretty decent salary. And I have a full-time job. I cannot imagine at all, like, if this had been, like, 5 years ago when I was, like, broke and, like, working several jobs, I don't know if I would have bought these dolls. Because Bratz has always had variety. We're just not seeing enough of the variety so far. We're seeing a lot of the big stuff. We're not seeing the Scorchin. We're not seeing the Fashion Pixies, the Play Sports, the babies. The babies are cheap as hell. Like, I'm surprised more people are not buying the babies, and I'm wondering, do they not like the designs? Is there something off about it? Like, I would like to know that stuff, because the babies, Runaways dolls don't seem to have sold well, and they're being clearanced out to make room for the fall stock. So I'm curious to know, like, are people seeing, like, what the affordable dolls look like? Are they understanding that there's options? And hopefully this fall, like, I am praying that we see all those options more readily available, especially on store shelves. I think store shelves are still important. I know a lot of shopping is done online, but people still go out. Like, people cannot resist going to the store. Like, I cannot resist going to the store. I know things are different And I'm hoping the fall, maybe they'll prove us wrong. We'll see all these dolls on shelves. We'll have all this variety to choose from, and it won't feel so limited in option. But I think we're just seeing a lot of that big stuff right now. And another critical point about how I feel about the Bratz brand and how they've handled their marketing is that they save a lot of their stuff for their anniversary. And I get it, because it's a big thing and they want to make it a big thing, fair. But I wish things were just a little bit more spread out. I feel like the spring tends to be a very quiet season for Bratz. And I think they really need to up the ante, especially with all the initiatives they have coming out. They need to really, really just like dig into being loud again. They have to be like loud. Especially with their playline offerings. It's exciting that we're getting Jean-Paul Gaultier. It's exciting we're getting Gentle Monster. It's exciting that there's celebrities being attached to the Bratz brand. But what are we showing the consumer? What are we showing the fans? What are we making accessible? Something I love about Scorchin, and I will say, which is, again, I'm going a little bit off the rails here, but this is my thoughts. This is my time to think right now. Honey, Scorchin, although the price got raised to $20, which is very unfortunate, and something that isn't completely MGA's decision, like that's really a retailer thing, and very unfortunate. And I did see that MGA raised the prices on their website, so that is also just, it's getting sad out here. Like, things are just getting expensive, and like, we're not making enough money. And we're not here to like really talk about that, but like, this is consumerism. It's supposed to be like a happy pastime for us. And we're supposed to like enjoy spending our money liberally and being like, oh, 150, like I can shell this out for this special doll. But when you see the special dolls go back to back, like Bratziversary, Scorchin is suddenly in Target stores, and then we have Gentle Monster, which is like super limited and hard to come by. And then Jean-Paul Gaultier, which is also limited and it's online only. It makes it feel like that's all there is. There is more. And there's more on the way. I'm excited to see what Bratz has in store for us. We're just not seeing enough of it. And I'm really, really hoping they like hammer in the fact that they... What are their roots? What is the root cause of a Bratz doll? I think I have just about had it for today. I enjoyed this doll. I will say the unboxing experience wasn't bad, but it could have been a little bit better. Like, I feel like there was just a lot of things, and maybe I'm a little cranky because I'm just sweaty and I've had a long day. I've been traveling. I just got home from work, and this hair is getting everywhere, and I think I need to turn on my AC and cool down and turn off the camera and say thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for tuning in to my review of the Bratz x Jean-Paul Gaultier collector fashion doll featuring Sasha in designs by Jean-Paul Gaultier. And thank you so much to the Bratz team at MGA Entertainment for gifting her. Stay tuned for more videos on the LOOKIN Bratz YouTube channel. Check out all the links in my description to stay connected. I'll see y'all next time. Bye. And I hope there's no flooding outside.